Yo, that countdown went rather quick. What's up, everybody? Hope you're having a good one. Wide screen Alundra today, it looks like. I gotta fix. Lighting situation's a bit funny, and I just noticed. Should be alright. Alex, you've been practicing, dude? I didn't even know you were going to do that. So you were into doing the runs. They were just a random play. Anyway. But I need to this caption. Oh. The Alundra capture in a bit of a moment right now. Does that have to do it for me? Will fix? Yep. I honestly have to check what it looks like in game. The full border situation. But yeah, I was thinking about doing this on hardware today, but I don't have the right cable on my current setup. It just would not work, so I need to get a sorted too. Slowly. That looks okay. Hope it's. I think the air would be kind of good. Alright, we have a little bit of black border on the left side still. I don't have my splits on this computer either. So in short, I bought a mini PC that is going to be my main PC for streaming for the next while. And a couple of things are not on it. Looks good. Half of your chat up there is all cropped weird. I don't know if I can try to fix that or just leave it off. Thank you. It looks good to me too. Want a new challenge? Played up to Reptile Larry with some save states. I'll try to a week later. Excited to see what other speedrun stuff from you. Yeah, I mean, dead rusty. I'll tell you that much. And I can't really do bomb tricks on Emulator that much. Way more used to hardware for bomb tricks. And I think I want to keep it that way because if I learn Emulator timing too hard, I'd have to readjust again. Not that it's not the worst thing in the world, like. I think double jumps are easy enough to adjust, or so, because you get to try them so often, and the timing is just a slight delay or slightly early for. I find bomb to adjust a bit more, and conveyorless a little bit too. Yeah, I don't know if I should try to fix the chat box right now or should just off. If I crop it like this, we can see that's a little better. That looks good to me. Oh, it's you, Alex. You're up there. I might be talking a little quieter today than usual, but I hope that sounds good too. We're setting the game, resize the window. I already need to get the second something monitor back online. Fix it though. And it resizing. I can PlayStation 1 when it's 10 different resolutions for everything. Early Lars? That trick you should leave for later. I left a lot of tricks for later when I was learning runs, including double jumps and getting fire wand early. Stuff. Like so many things were left on the table. So I did a non-double jump route and I used to do lane stream stuff as well. I'd say it's less so complexity than it is timing. Brutal timing, you know? There is complexity to the setups and stuff. I get shit. Dude, did the game captures crop weird still? Why? I move it up slightly. Yeah, not worried about the timer too much right now. Let's just go. Timing-wise, yeah. I mean, the setup, once you get used to it, is not too bad. But until then, there's effort to it. Alright, that's true. I will say for those, like, they're not all that bad, to be honest. Especially with double jumps and you kind of like skip out on the hardest one. So you're fine that way, in my opinion. It's the twin stream that's going to catch you the most, I feel like. Because that one is confusing, routing-wise. Wait, do I have that? Okay. 2 seconds, guys. I'm just gonna fix something. I didn't do the Alundra jumps, I'm sorry. Somebody's gonna be mad. But yeah, the door wasn't fully shut, and I felt like that would leave out. I don't want to be too noisy to the other people's house. Yeah, Lex, if you need any like help flirting, I can make myself available. For me, I mean, I think I can stream more comfortably, but I don't want to like push it. You know what I mean? I just trying to test the waters of what like the people I'm living with or with. If I don't, to see, there's a lot of echo in this house, and I'm like worried that that noise will be annoying. But so far, no issue. So I'm kind of like testing the waters a bit. It's funny as that might sound. I would be on actual hardware today if it wasn't for one cable I didn't get my Elgato up and running. So essentially I'm just going to do a practice run on Emulator and see how that looks. But I will say my timing for certain tricks won't be good. If anybody has it in their head that like, because of all the randomizer runs, I'm just going to be insanely godlike at the actual speedrun, I think you're going to be disappointed, just so you know. Getting that expectation out of the way. Oh my god, what? That was so unlucky. pressed square once and he like swung left and right each frame. Like I had no choice in that matter. Loading time wise, I don't know the exact amount. Yeah. But I believe it could be like 5 minutes or something. Check the Discord. Wonder which channel it is in again. In one of the channels, they were like discussing, with somebody discussing timing. Now it's like really old messages, but like it was worked out the timing difference between PSTV, the PS2, the PS1, like emulator, that kind of thing. Apparently there's some variant even in like loading rooms and stuff. PSTV might be faster, but it doesn't have the fastest speed needed to get rid of jingles. But like it's second best, as far as I'm aware. Not heads down, removes, you know? Talking like Jess. Kappa. Ooh, I almost ran up and talked to him because of randomizer. I was thinking about looking into, getting fast text speed into randomizer as a script. Be nice. Is your spirit animal? Damn. Your spirit animal died? Oh, okay, sorry. Spoilers. What am I like? A good spirit animal. Okay. But, Alex, you're my best competition in randomizers at the moment. React is still getting warmed up to it. Using the tracker is still alien, completely alien to him. He's like only done like 2 rando runs. Very small. Blade is always getting better. Bozo is a scam artist. He'll say he'll do randos and barely doesn't. Need to say. He was talking about the dream team the last day. Yeah, for sure. There seems to be an issue with the hint mode. Not sure what's causing it, but like he didn't get a hint where he was supposed to get one from Reptile Lair. So I might need to look into a fix for that. And I know that Georgia didn't drop a hint last time I was using it for Diamond Crest. Whoa. That was weird. My whole screen went magenta, purple, pink, whatever. Back to normal. Flash. Did you guys see it? I think it was just on my end. It's gonna be pretty slow, Terrence Minor, actually. As I spent so much time on the boat. Fixing things. Not on your end, yeah. Gotta remember not to pick up every chest. Difficult. Doo-doo. Doo-doo. You're gonna see a little bit of difference in my routing for safety for the bomb. But I'm definitely going for safety if I'm doing it on emulator. It does, but I pick up a bunch of extra herbs for coal mine skip. Um, um. Pretty nice. You know what's also nice? Getting the key here, being able to leave. Let's get all the checks. Nice feeling. Bando exclusive feeling. Alright. Old jingles, man. So the way I do the start is a little funny, because the extra healing I pick up and stuff. But I've seen plenty of runners pick up some of the healing I'm gonna get later in the run. So it kind of cuts time out of the run later in some ways. But depends on how hit you're getting. But for the most part, the herbs down here are picked up. Exactly. People still afraid to do Magiskar without... Well, okay, not afraid to do without Fire One, but like... Fire One makes it so much easier. It's like, if you just get good without the Fire One, the dungeon is not that. Still feel this way. Blade gives me shit for it. Sometimes I skip this one. But hope the bombs go well. Don't have to think at all? I guess so, but like... And once you get used to the ledge walking strats and stuff, it feels really fun. Like, it's not hard to set them up that way. They're going to get the... Oh. Throw the opposite way around. I wouldn't mind if the buttons were like JP version in the randomizer. So we're going to use that magic elixir later. Oops. We use it again. I don't think where that's used. Isn't it Ancient Shrine? Bruh. Buttons are reversed. I think Ancient Shrine though with frickin' long boots. It feels so good. The long-ass dungeon. I'm planning to change the hint mode. Give Fire one hint for Ancient Shrine, as I said before. And I think that would be balance it out a bit better. It's funny, like I thought the Fire one hint would be so valuable, but I think it turns out like you kind of stumble across Fire Wand a lot of the time. Anyway. I don't know. It is still valuable if your seed is lacking it. But I would be inclined to the crests from now on. That would be funny. But Magiskar had like a crest that was supposed to be there, but it got stolen. And the truth is, you get 2 crests from the Merc tree, so you can interpret it one way or the other, like what crest was supposed to be where. It doesn't jump there. I assume Agate was tied to Coastal, the brown one. Garnet having 2. Magiskar, they're kind of the red one. Red one's Ruby's also kind of reddish. This is more pinkish. Why'd I hit the switch? I don't know. I felt like it. Oh, I could pull up the boss HP script. Damn, I forgot about it. Be funny to throw that on so you can see the Gilder turn into boss HP. It'd be good. It's good for practice, I'd say. Like, just knowing for sure. Unless I do another dash attack into those 2 times, it'd be worth it. Okay. You can reduce 2 of them by a hit if you dash attacks. Otherwise, it doesn't really do any favors there. GG. I usually split at the ding of the sword, or if it's like the case of killing line, it's like when the screen goes bright white. Thunderations. Is that you cannot be serious? That's what he says. Tarnation. Thunder Nations. Now I've heard of the Fire Nation, but the Thunder Nations? Quite scary, actually. Yeah, the speedrun's going to be quite chill because, like, I don't really have to think as hard for a lot of it, I suppose. I think I need to start incorporating less pickups, though. Pick up less life vessels and things. I still pick up to 21 life by the end game, so I can tank a hit from Dark Dragon, for example. And in some dungeons, when you're trying to go fast, enemies just are away and, you know, you just get hit. Done like the 1 HP random stuff, and that was a good way of learning how to do things safely. But safe is slow sometimes. Genuinely, running around the screens, enemies being in random areas unexpectedly, just take hits. have your own times to beat, and that speedrun before it sounds satisfying to recruit. Yeah, there's not many things in like the real world that you could see quantifiable progress in. You know what I mean? I mean, slowly you see progress on things. Speedrunning is one of those things where like you can easily figure, oh yeah, it's better than before. I think copying somebody else's standard as well for split, like if it works for you, yeah, but like some cases, do your own thing. Like it doesn't really matter. The end time at the end of the day is all that. I mean, if you're comparing splits to somebody else, I guess you would want to know where they split. But let's say somebody else split when, I don't know, Alundra like is unmovable. I would never want to do that split. I'd never hit it on time. Like with the ding, you can see the swing and like, bing, the noise. Like it's easy to lock in on that. Let's defeat the Manos the day before. Damn. What did he do to you? Bum 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 bum. We almost kicked the crap out of him. Yeah. Is the game audio loud enough, or did I keep it too quiet? Double check it's the correct volume. Oh, it is. Could be at least. Turn up my microphone a little bit. Or the sound on my end. Yeah, that's good. I would want both to be clear, but I don't want the microphone to sound distorted, you know, when it's like too loud. But it's the shame it is that people with good setups have louder mics without peaking. And I think people genuinely like audio to be like that on Twitch or something. If like I was rate
what the hell is this?
Rate somebody with a really quiet mic, people might not stick around. And I noticed that kind of thing. So like, you do want your microphone to be decently loud, but you don't want it to peak, and it's harder to do on cheaper mics. And I don't know, some PCs and some microphones start to argue, and they cause more distortion. Like sound things are finicky. Oh, you're welcome, Nico. But as long as the game's clear, as long as my voice clear, and it's like loud enough, I'm happy. Nice. Chest Sky, watching the fucking chest, my dude. Every fucking time you do. Those are just coal mine noises, right? Welcome, Nico. Mao indeed. Alright, we're gonna blow ourselves up. As soon as we get this, like, oh, I made this mining bomb, but I'm just gonna leave it right here. Alundra, don't do anything with it. Like, Alundra second, I'm gonna blow myself up. I'm gonna take out this church. Crazy. Think about it. Yellow over Narude. So Narude is sitting there on a mountain all day, right? And he has these little gremlins, kind of dwarves or whatever, you know, helping him. You know, maybe they get him food and stuff. Then, if you think about it, what is the waterway? And what are those logs? You know, if food goes in, it has to come back out, doesn't it? You know, the waterway's right beside the road, yeah, it's crazy. It's a problem. Like, once I thought about it, I'm like, oh, yeah, crap, there's a good argument. Those aren't logs. Not the way you think they are. Anki was playing this on guitar the last day on classical. Sounded awesome. It's actually an argument if you're doing a US version run that you buy another magic elixir in the shop later. Alright, too late. I think the reason that might have been too late is potentially because emulator timings. Do it early. There we go. Bonka 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 bonka. No, this is gonna be tough on emulator because I haven't done it this way in a while. Thank you. Oh my god. Pray for me. Oh my god, I can't get the feel for... It's not help that the PS5 D-pad isn't, like, as sensitive. Push the D-pad a little more than I tap. I kind of just want to tap the button, but if I tap it, sometimes it doesn't even move. I really, at some point, I'd love to design a controller just because. I guess. Bro. Doesn't help that the emulator seems to be itching. Oh, why? Hurry up. Ay, ay, ay. Guys, I don't know when this is gonna go my way. Yeah, pressing left way too early. I have to get it right. Dude, the emulator is actually... There's a setting I can change, dude. I'm gonna change my audio buffer because that sometimes affects it. Up, Alfredo. I wish I was doing this on hardware. I'll tell you that much, because that's what I'm used to doing it on these days. But I did practice this a lot on Emulator to get used to it. But funny thing is, it was on another emulator I practiced the most on. Not sure, but I feel like if I make slightly different, frame even, maybe. Alright. But, you know, whatever. We got this, eventually. Game over is the game over. I mean, the console's been named Xbox, PlayStation. Well, that one doesn't sound far off of it's already out there. Okay, I'm pressing left way too soon. I don't know how sensitive this D-pad is. So too late. At least I'm getting the jump around better. Yeah, this is easier on a different controller. Maybe that one. Okay, no. If you're in the same books as Alfredo, you're in trouble. Bum. If you guys want, show this footage to Chris Naga. He'll feel very validated. Oh, that was good. Did not go in? I'm going to kill you, D-pad. Look what happens if I press it ever so slightly. Sometimes it doesn't even react. But it's like so slight. It's like not normally an issue ever. Whatever. That blows out. Oh my fuck. Buttons, please. Oh my god. I can't let you guys ever be in the same chat again. I don't know. I don't know when I'm gonna get this. Everybody trying to buddy up. What is going on? Alright, guys, I don't know. Guess I need to practice this. I swear, if I on hardware, it's easier for me right now. Why is there a prediction running? Or is that from yesterday? Boy, oh boy. Oh, gotcha. I can only half see it because my splits are covering it. Dude, that way took... Look if the time saves. I'm just gonna pull up my old splits if you... But yeah, I've never done that trick on PS5 controller. I've done it on like my retro handhelds, and I've done it on my other control, like the PlayStation 1 DualShock. Something about the PlayStation 5 controller, if you like micro tap the D-pad, it won't react. Made it more screwy, because I like... That's what I like to do to get around the rock, micro tap. Oh yeah, dude, I was addicted to playing the Vita for a very long time before. Finished my FF10 playthrough on that, replay through, you know. I got my God file on that. You should see my God file, dude. Every stat is max. Okay, yeah, never mind. You don't need to know. Okay, I don't need to dash there when... Oh. Could be stuffed. I can kind of skip these, or at least one of them if I didn't do well on the or did do well on the oh. What the fuck? I was playing well on the bus to catch robots. Wait, you missed your stop? Is that what I'm hearing? RP6 is a Retroid Pocket 6. I'm surprised by how little people know about third-party handhelds when value for money-wise and how good they emulate. I think everybody should at least have one of them. Like he's in a cult, dude. Literally their marketing team. Fire essential oil. Trash. Fuck. What mode is that? I can't even get out. Oh, suffer. My conveyor list kind of sucks on Emulator at the moment too. So, okay. Not even want to know. on his shirt. Room. Ask me how my wife is doing. By wife, I mean Retroid Pocket 6. Yeah, slipping there happens. Okay, look at it. Oops. That junk. Here. Reasonable about your purchases? Are you sure? Anybody reasonable about their purchases these days? It's funny, I do bombs here, but if I'm lacking health for the boss, I'll do bases. I want full health. Bruh, he's moving around a lot. You can get like preloaded games on there. They shouldn't sell them like that because it's not the most legal thing, but they do it anyway. Hey, why is this split say coal mine there? I think I downloaded some ancient ass splits. I'll just press it again. Yeah, okay, it doesn't. Okay, fair enough. The only thing that catches me out, Lozo, I'll be honest, is the Android thing. I kind of like the handheld to have Linux or dual boot. I say this because I've noticed Linux emulators really good on input lag. And I had the Android device in the GPD-XD, and I had slightly more lag on that. But that device is kind of aged at this point. And I think the Retroid Pocket 6 would be more manageable to do good emulation. I shouldn't be too apprehensive about Android, I just had that experience. Like, okay, fair. Like, I've noticed on the rearmed core that comes with RetroArch on the Double X, on 4XH, 40XXH, that one, you know, the horizontal version. I've noticed that, like, those run so well. In, like, I think even, like, BizHawk on its best day would be a frame behind sometimes. On compared. I don't know. Did Alfredo pin something? What kind of gamba is that? You gonna make your own prediction? Yeah, this is JP. When we run it, we do JP. I've done the US version. Guys, technically I might have US version world record. Technically. I say technically because I just never posted a time to speedruns.com. But that's not the most competitive version. Like, if the better runners get a hold of that, they'll beat my time. It's not run as often. What the heck is going on with predictions? My splits are blocking them right now. I can't see what you guys are doing. We're only doing nice things, right? Part of me has a bit of that perfectionist. Like, sometimes I listen to it, sometimes I don't. But when it comes to this, I really do want my time to be at least a certain quality before I submit it. I don't want to submit a run that I felt was not my best. But, you know, if it's close to my best and it's, like, pretty clean otherwise, I'll be like, oh, I'm happy. Gosh. Get up. Lex is gonna be doing runs too. Crazy. Oh yeah, that's how it works. Then it becomes Lorenzo's. Both you guys bet on the prediction, and then I'll have to end it. Look at you making me do. Fair enough. Fair enough, Alex. No. Don't give this guy even a modicum of power. I have nothing to do with this. Oh, for some reason I thought I had that key. God, I can't believe 7 minutes. Okay, what is this? Is it Alfredo will... The next camp. Oh, right. True. Great prediction. Why would anybody believe? I believe in the heart of the contest. Yeah. What did you guys think about the Pokemon card game streams when I was doing those? No half-assing? Fair enough. I need to fix the lighting in this room. My buttons are JP version. I gotta remember that. Oh, GG. I barely watched them. Fair. I still to this day like allow myself to take damage there because I want my bomb setup to be perfect as possible. Nice bombas. So if you want a nice easy Sarah setup, do what I do. If there is the triple attack, the one, okay, if it's all single attacks, on the second one, when it approaches you, take out the bomb, allow it to hit you, set up a bomb mid-room on both sides. Try to stay to the mid-room before the explosion, and Sarah's likely to spawn into it. And then with the triple one that zooms in on you, just before it hits you, take the bomb, and then similar setup. I know. At least the fortune cookie's working. I don't know why that one isn't working really. Another look at it. I'll try to fix it if I can. Itch. Bad generator.
Who's that Pokemon? It's Lozo. Lozo.
Okay, maybe it'll work now. Try it. Trying to wake him up, Alfredo. He's trying to enjoy his nap. You have
Who's
PTSD?
that Pokemon? It's Lozo. Lozo.
The reverb makes it better. No more fun stuff in Redeem? What do you mean no more fun stuff? Just forgot what I was supposed to do.
Fire Scroll! Poggers!
That's not happening. I could refund Fish's keyboard redeem the last time. Oops. Wonky's pathing there. Should know better. That one's probably the dumbest one. That's old. Among Us? Yeah, I was playing that before with random people. But I think it was better with friends. So I refuse to play that with random people again. The people I would play Among Us with are probably like VIP mods or people I know personally. It's sus, it's... I had a few of my IRL friends jump on a call with me before, and we were all playing Among Us, and then this person in chat wouldn't stop going on about wanting to be in a game. Like, alright, you could be in a game. Turns out, they were a literal freaking child. They were like 11 years old. I'm like, what? Like, you said I could be in the game, and I got on guilt tripped. I'm like, alright, you can be in one game. but I really threw off the vibe of the whole stream. Yeah, I'm not doing that again. Like, I also banned them from the channel. So I'm like, yeah, you're supposed to. There's a maturity warning on the way in, dude. And it's funny, the first time I drafted the rules, like, Cyborgian was one of my most loyal viewers. But I think he was like 17 at the time. And the first draft of the rules was like, you need to be above this age. And it's like, why that number so high? I'm like, I guess because Cyborgian exists. Like, I just... Then I just changed the rules to be universal and I gave up and doing it at all, but like... Maybe we'll play Among Us someday, but yeah. I'm quite strict with who I do Among Us with now. Not strict, but you know. Kinda. Aw, how'd I screw that up? That all sucked. I had the weird effect of, like, every time I was an imposter, people would believe me more than when I was a crewmate. It was fun when I was an imposter, but I kept getting yeeted when I was a crewmate. Like, you don't believe me when I'm just being normal? When I need to lie, you believe me. Let's be a crewmate. Did it? He won the gamble? There's no way. It never happens, bro. Actually mess up the eyeballs. That's what Kim's when I'm good at them. Oh no, Lorenzo. I don't know if you're good at that Mega Man stuff. Wow. I could see the idea of doing weekly races in Mega Man Maker again, but probably just gonna be doing like randos whenever I feel like it on the side. You don't like Mega Man? Cool. Me neither. Why play it? Hate on it. Bro, on my health. No. Spawn's there. Bro. Oob. Bro. Ba-da-dum. Ba-da-dum. Do-do-do-do-do. It says it, but did I get it? No, I didn't get it. Lame. I just forgot where the worm came out. Oh no, no, not yet. Bum, 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 bum. As I said, this is practice, so we can cheat. No contest at the moment. No contest. I already need to update my stream stuff. It's been too long, man. Things might be getting a bit stale. And I really need to do some video editing, but I've been putting it off. Being killed by a sandworm. Is that... What's more embarrassing, getting killed by a burning pillar or sandworm? I mean... You guys were there. They have the Cydia on your arcade machine? What world are you living in? Is Zoomer College that strange? No. The Cydia is not an arcade game or anything. So confused. Emulation arcade? Yeah. Those become more popular over the years, because emulations become so easy. Used to be back in my day. I guess I'll just say it used to be kind of pain in the butt to set up emulators. To get them working properly. That was just super easy across the board. Even a freaking toddler could do it. I need to set up my archipelago. Genuinely, I can't imagine it being hard to set up. If I see how Archipelago works, I might consider adding a Alundra randomizer to it if it isn't hard to do. But I imagine that part would be harder to get done. It's just funny, I was like watching Alex do Ape Escape the last day, and he just assumed Alundra randomizer was already on Archipelago. Like, do people just assume every game is on it now? What has happened? A couple of years back that was never the case, but now it's like, yeah, everything's on it. One to two. That was easy. Alfredo's on a winning streak, man. Guess miracles do happen. I ought to ban Alfredo because his chat, or his, looks like a chat handle, username is YouTube in it. I mean, what else does the YT stand for? So there was a game I was talking about before, called Monkey Hero on the PS1. And it's kind of like... Oh, I forgot to do the room. Kind of like top-down, it's kind of Zelda-like in its own way. But like, going back to it and seeing how janky the game is and stuff, I'm like... I remember this being a bit more solid. But I do remember once you get into it, it's still a lot of fun. Abe's Odyssey is another one, but that's a completely different story. You know when I say that they were very experimental, PS1 era ideas in game design? That is a very interesting experimental game. I guess when a new game comes out now, it's either a roguelike, a Metroidvania, a Souls-like, or like those, or farming. There, like, or I guess your regular FPS shit. It does cover quite a bit, but you know what I mean. Like, it's still. La World. That one? That had some BS levels with invisible blocks legs. But I still had a lot of fun with it. What the fuck? Nice joke, Lozo. Come down here, please. That dang guy just ignored me forever. I feel like my camera's gonna go into dark mode soon. The lighting in the room is dimming. I was relying on natural light. Low battery stream. This small PC is actually like 15 watts or something, like very small. That's it. Bruh, I forgot. Yeah, that's correct, but the wrong side, right? I'm supposed to do sun next, but no, well. Oh no. Fire next. Ba-da-ba-dum, ba-da-da-dum. Short circuited, dude. What the hell? Alright, I'm just gonna do it slow, patient. I picked up the wrong one. Upset.
Emotional, damn it!
Really is. I think I'm doing this like differently than I used to, maybe. As long as it works. I think your meatballs are good. Try, mamma mia. My recipe. Dude, what? I have no tokens? Bro. Property season to me. Might be a little burnt. Or good. I'm giving my own season there. You guys see the smiler? Crazy. I'm assuming the room has gone dark. I have to turn on the light now. Self-made. I'm perfectly self-made. Okay, I'll fix it in a sec. After we beat the hardest boss rush ever committed to a video game. It is first birthday. Oops. Wasn't meant to do this. Loppy. Bro. A guy from the side? Fucking kidding me? Give me a sec, I'm gonna fix the light. Hardest boss rush ever, yep. Okay. I have no idea what it looked like before, but back. I guess I shouldn't be half-assing every section. Part of me really wanted to just, like, go crazy with bombs, then I changed my mind, and then I changed my mind again. But in an actual run, don't take this many risks. Oh, yes. I mean, you try stuff out. Yeah. When you want to go fast, you just try stuff out. Guess we go back here? Something? Mm-hmm. Are you freaking kidding me? Pick it up. The The funny thing is, you know that when the lights switch in order, like it actually follows the order except like I think like moon and star or like on that puzzle back there. Oh, feck. Which is rather strange when you consider that, like, this is the first instance. Oh, not the first instance. First instance before that. Ah, okay. But I guess it's just to throw you off. What are you talking about, streamer? I go full ash. Okay, so I'm gonna try this first. I think that's the way I used to do that. Then that seems about right because the pace of it mostly lines up. Invalid launch guy. I saw what happened. Oh. Whipped. Frickin' stone cat. There might be a way to avoid Wilda's fire by standing right above its inbox. Something Spirex did the last day while holding on Navis charm. Like, that's possible? Looks like it should be burnt to death. Crazy. I guess I wanted to equip bomb, but is the equipping book to move lag frames between screens? You know, you know? Oh, no worries, Alex. I'm just messing around today. Thanks for being here, dude. Real runs will be... or a real run at least. Maybe some runs. Be soon. What is going on in this room? Why can't I walk past it? But yet I can swim. What even are they? I just imagined them to be like really tall pillars, but they couldn't make it visual. To block you from seeing what you're supposed to do. I guess that's one thing from perspective when adding platforming. It's tricky to indicate height. I just realized something. It's an odd observation, but if you work within the parameters of Alundra and stuff, only way you can make things taller is from left to right, down to up. But if you ever were to make things taller from up to down, you wouldn't see your character half the time while doing the platform. So I guess what I'm saying is like the world kind of has to be built in a way that is vertical from down to up. So the whole world is on a hill. Sorta. And it would be hard to design. It wouldn't be practical to design the game with a hill going in the reverse direction. I guess that's a matter of perspective. Oh, look at this rando scene. Is that a sword? Holy. One trumpet. The guy's really trying to get that trumpet off. There you go, bro. Happy for you. By the way, there's an invisible pillar. Make of that what you will. You can kind of like swing through it, but yeah. Part of my brain was like, why don't we do Firefighter before Coastal? Because I can't swim without boots. You ever think like I needed to throw on my wellies if I wanted to go in the water? That's this video game. Alright, so we're going to do some cutscene fixing because we skipped a dungeon. And one thing to get back in order, we pick up an item later that will desalty the game. We can continue. Nice turtle. I do not have any fast travel. Holy. I kind of miss not having a lane stream. It is the coolest stream dungeon overall. Not really like ice areas in the main game outside of Dream Dungeons. Ba-da-ba-bum. 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 Whose splits are these, by the way? I'm like Lake Shrine in 4 hours, 33 minutes? I don't know who did these splits. Or like the final time is what I'm getting at. I just downloaded some of this stuff. I guess there's an argument to be said to be a bit more careful on the final Ancient Shrine fight. But I'm going too reckless, but I kind of want to practice it. Like going a bit reckless with the bombs and stuff and seeing if I can get a faster method out of that. One of the fastest way to do it is like bait as many as you can into a bomb. They kind of ignore you if you're not close enough to them. Ba-da-bum. Alexa's favorite dungeon. I'm like, huh? Surprisingly simple one, but fair. Damn it. Wait, did it stay lit? Because that hit? Gonna have to wait for it to fully change color before it counts. Ah. Why did I bomb this one? Like a lever got switched, didn't it? Interesting. That happened because I bombed it? Are those fake levers? Ooh. That's flippers. When's Link to the Past? Rendos. I thought about doing Infinity Dungeon today, which is funny. Would be down to do the Mega Man Maker randomizer each week. Got up braces again, but it's like at some point I just kind of went silent. Could be just a thing where like somebody throws in an ID and says this is my time. What you can do. Well, no. This is what indigestion looks like if you're a Digimon. I believe that's like a canon of like Digimon games. Like, your Digimon poops too much, so they turn it into literal poop. Like, huh? I'd hate to be a Digimon. Just stand. What? Ah, Randall Brain. Randall Bryan strikes again. Ba-dum-dum. First try, of course. Crap. I can't just turn around easily. Wait a second. Wow. That has to be like the final. I don't know. Okay. Just need to be more to the right, I guess. Crap. Dun-dun-dun. Damn. Watched. That walk over the gap? Oh. Ring bean here is broken. Wait, why did I do that one first? Be alright. Or not. Yeah, I should be hitting it from that side. All good. Doing spaghetti stuff, right? Go back and do more 1 HP runs. Ooh. Easy. Something I thought about playing again is a very odd one. You guys ever have games that, like, when you're younger you never beat, but you just came back to and want to beat anyway? Even if it doesn't make a lot of sense. I wanna beat Aladdin on the PS1 because I got so lost in one level that I could never figure out, and I spent so much time trying to figure it out. That I bet if I played as an adult, I'd figure it out. But I remember that game being kind of BS at times. It was fun. Something about the old school 3D platformers were they're good games. I think 3D platforming as a genre is like it's explored, but like a banger genre. The heck? Mean Alfredo. I haven't. It's funny, like I hear lots of good things about it. It's just I'd almost rather it was like a new Crash Bandicoot or something, because like I look at Astrobot and I don't feel inspired to play it. I saw Crash and it kind of, you know, it kind of makes me laugh. Leveling? God. A noob. I guess what I'm saying is like the main character doesn't seem to have as much charm appeal, but I'd still play it because I've heard so much good things about it. For a number of reasons. Gotcha. I guess what I'm trying to say is like Mario 64, people always talk about that as like an epic 3D platformer. Spyro games were fun 3D platformers. Like, I feel like the genre, like I wish of more devs. Maybe I need to find some indie devs that explore more because it's really 3D platformers hit hard, dude. Hey, it was fun games. But again, it's not the most intriguing plot, character design. Yeah, exactly. Like, if it were the whole package, like literally, if it was branded a Crash Bandicoot game, I'd be so in immediately. They have an Alundra costume for Astrobot. It's funny. I never thought they'd throw a callback to Alundra. Was that really low? Nice fish. I never really noticed because, like, half the time I'd be watching your stream on slightly lower quality anyway, because, I don't know. I'd be watching on my phone, and sometimes I don't have the best connection. Nico, Dorico, or Super Lucky to got you. Yeah. But it's cool to see it, you know? What I'd love to see is a 3D platformer slash Metroidvania with excellent combat. You can put that all together. Damn. And I don't mean like platformer as in like you can cheese your way around by bouncing off the walls too much. Like I mean platformer as in you'll earn abilities, of course, through the Metroid progression, but I guess what I'm trying to say is like platforming will never be totally free. Is it like you kind of have to respect some of the platforming design, but you can cheese one or two elements. That's what I'd love to see. Some kind of. I say this because when you make the character too agile, sometimes you take out the platforming element that challenges the player a bit more. But it's still fun to master tech. Yeah. So I think I might explore those games because I'm curious. With good combat, it's tricky, but you can see the vision, right? Like, you do a good platformer game, you give it excellent combat, you give a very enjoyable character, and you designed a very intelligent Metroidvania in 3D. Like, you could use the camera as a way of exploring, like, oh, there's a hole up there I can get to, but how do I get up there? That kind of environmental interaction. Super satisfying. Yeah, Coastal is done, but I was supposed to do Fire Matter. Yeah, totally, yeah. Not saying anything's gonna do all those things at once, but I'll be so in for that, you know? Not that I have anything against 2D platformers. I've played them by heavens. Just, you know. I always think there's good space for like a good 3D platformer. They can be very satisfying. Nice. I could play the Mario Galaxy games and stuff as well. Just wonder how they feel. Okay, this is gonna be tough. Odyssey looked fun, even though like you can kind of cheese your way around. It was like very interesting tech for a speedrun game. Oh, that's fine. Like, not that I have anything against 2D, of course. It's just more so like I'm intrigued by 3D platformers and what they can accomplish. And I like seeing it explored. I guess that's... if that makes sense, yeah. Alright, I'm too late. I have to do it early because I'm on Emulator. Yeah, I can agree with that. They are different styles. Like you could be in the mood for one more than the other, I guess. But 64 made you earn it more because you were not able to like bounce off the walls or do stuff that's really crazy. You had to kind of earn a lot of your platforming, even though you could come up with some smart ways to get around. That's a good point too. Damn. Timings. Yeah. Oh boy. Lovely. I'm gonna have to readjust that timing when I'm on hardware again, but definitely better getting bomb jumps on hardware because the visual cue actually is better if you're looking for it. On emulator, it's kind of awkward. The visual cue being when the bomb hits your foot and finally explodes, that's when you time your jump. But on emulator, you gotta time it at 2 frames before that. Feels awkward. So I kind of just went by feel more than visual cue there. You just buy them. Like, I'm not that picky, I guess. Like, I look at Mario Odyssey as it's got enough going on to mess around with to not have to be the hardest game in the world or the most challenging either. You can buy them infinitely? You're lying. I thought there was a max. That sounds really broken if true. Oh, it's true. Oh my god. Okay, fine. You win. That's kind of dumb. It's funny, I look at Mario Odyssey and I see speedruns out of it, and I don't wish the game to truly change that much when I look at it that way. Now, truth is I haven't actually played it myself. So, whatever I say is not truly important on the matter. But looking from the speedrun's perspective, like, the amount of like movement tech you can put together to get through the game is very interesting. But I will say it's not the most challenging game. It's not the most satisfying in terms of challenge, but it is satisfying in terms of like it actually has enough going on to keep you invested anyway. And it makes for a good speed run if you get good at the tech. But I don't know. It wouldn't be like the be all and end all for satisfaction in terms of like earning thing. Mario 64 has that more. Your player progress without finding it's a failsafe, but allows you to skip playing the game, and even if you're max collector, you can still buy more. Okay. I get it. But the idea, and I'll say this because I said this before, the idea that like kids need to be babied in order to play a game, or like people need to be babied in order to play games is silly. Like I grew up in Pokemon Red Blue and got destroyed by Brock until I figured out what I was supposed to do. I was messing around with Charmander. You know, like there's an experience there that like if you make a game too easy, like modern Pokemon games are not too easy, but they're more like, oh, there's so much fucking and fluff. I know I'm getting side tangent into Pokemon games. God, they're so brainless. Kind of boring. Like genuinely boring for everybody with all of the forced dialogue and the forced go towards progression and the forced fights that are so easy for you. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know if I can complete a casual playthrough of a modern Pokemon game. I can't. It'd have to be like some kind of self-imposed challenge, and even then I would not enjoy it as much. Banjo-Tooie? Yeah, you can. I've never played any of the Banjo games, so I'd have to play it first. So I'd play the first one before I start racing the second one. But yeah, I guess those games don't need to be the hardest. They're meant to be kind of casual, but like maybe being able to infinitely buy progression is the wrong incentive. They just keep in the main game? Yeah. You finished last fish? I must be bad because I get beaten by you, so like, what's going on? Um, yeah, like, I'd argue some assist mechanics take away from the player engaging with the game. Talk a little bit much, I'd agree. I just get this idea that like a lot of like studio devs seem to think that like we need to make a game fail safe for the non-gamer practically. The casual gamer. I don't know, it's like they picture people don't know how to play games at all are playing their games the most. That's kind of how it feels sometimes. But you're not going to make a satisfying experience if you make things too easy. You really have to do heavy lifting in other departments if you want it to still be satisfying. I'm all for difficulty modes. I am. But sometimes, you know, like, don't handhold the player all the time. Let them figure it out. Although some people make the argument, maybe Dark Souls should have difficulty modes, but like, I think Dark Souls and stuff was meant to be an intendedly difficult experience for everyone playing, so against the philosophy, so I would not argue that should have it. But I could think a lot of games for having difficulty modes. I would enjoy the harder mode, please. You know? Think down 3 worlds without any emblems. 1 per world except after beating the game? Oh, Lorenzo! Okay. Hey, that sounds not bad at all. If it's 1 per world. That's a different story. Okay, okay. News is getting updated. Is it emblems? I don't know how Odyssey works as a whole, so you guys can go ahead and debate on that. I watch speedruns of it because I like late old 3D movement tech. Back. Dude, stop with the RP6, I'm gonna kill you. I'm quite content with the Steam Deck for the moment. And my go-to handheld is the XXH, the 4-inch version. And you know what, I'm happy enough to have that combo. But the, I don't know, RP6 can be portable, more so than the Steam Deck, and it's got all of the power. Now, what I find interesting is, let's retroactively think about Spyro. Right? It has similarities to Mario Odyssey, for example. You collect so much of stuff, and you go to the next world. Yeah. But Spyro isn't necessarily the hardest game. It might have some moments. Left, up, right, up, right, up. But I think getting through the main game of Spyro isn't. It has its challenges for sure, but it isn't the hardest game you get through from a collection perspective. But the completionist getting all the gems, that's actually a bit harder. But I will say that, like, there's some tricky parts. Where to go, where to go? Oh yeah, okay, that's fair. But young Alfredo is what the assist tools were made for. Kappa. My boy Ice puzzle? Get back to do it, Fish. He said he'd be good at it. Just get him to do that one puzzle. That's all you need to do. Thanks, lines. In mind. I guess I'm gonna... Oh, that's interesting. I remember that I blasted it all on doing the bomb jumps. Maybe... Low on that one. Ouch. I guess if they're not an infinite buy, I'm quite okay with it, like. Oh. That's how cheap they are, I guess, as well. But I haven't played the game. Staying out of it. I have a thing that's like, I don't know if you consider it a hot take or what, but I like games that lock you into a difficulty mode without the ability to choose it later. Like, you committed. They should let you know early on how hard it's going to be by giving you a challenge. Say, yeah, this is going to be how hard. Are you okay with this? they do a one-way difficulty where you can downgrade, but you can only do it like down. This conversation's getting crazy. Let's rock. Too much freedom spoils. I think Dream Drop Distance is a good enough game, Fish. Just not the best Kingdom Hearts game. He doesn't like it because, like, I'm not gonna just say Yozane or yeah, the fucking stupid story-breaking things all over the place that killed the rest of the story. It's hard for me to admit to that again. Also, slow motion's completely broken. But I think the other two, the other element is much stronger. They massacred it, like. The game from the main menu. I mean, that's that's pretty black and white arguing. I'm pretty sure there's more gray than that, but there's an assist thing that you're saying, is it? Fish, if you want to do something on Mega Speedruns, just host it yourself. I'm not gonna stop you. Okay, well, there you go. Have we had this talk? Gotta do some more cutscene skipping? Or fixing? Ah, look at the buttons are reversed. JP. That's fair, Alfredo. Stomach is growling again. But I guess my take on like games getting very easy and easier to the point of like it's a bit too easy, absurd that way. No, you can have games that are more casual friendly on the purpose of being that. But I don't think every game should be like, casual friendly just for the sake of getting the most audience, because it's not going to be a very memorable experience if challenges completed are not satisfying. Now, I'm not making any argument about Odyssey. I think there's enough satisfaction in beating that game, even though it's easy enough. Got a lot going on outside of just being something that's not too hard. But yeah, when I see games like getting created by studios that are just simply easy, being easy to get more of an audience, it just seems like a churning mill of mid games. That probably don't like, I don't know, probably don't teach you to be a good video game player. In some ways, they probably just make you like, when you play an actual hard game, you're just gonna be like, ah, too hard. This is too hard because they didn't hold my hand. And we all know the most fun you're gonna have with games is when you allow your ass to get kicked. PS3, Xbox 360, VR games are really casual friendly. Let's focus on casuals going forward. Like Mario Wonder, Astrobot. All quite daring. I'd argue Mario Wonder's first few stages, and actually a good amount of its stages, are like, you just hold right. Not hold right all the time, but you know what I mean? Like, it's so basic. I really thought about getting into that game. It's fun because they have side missions that are giving you more of a challenge too. So you have enough for both players. Mario World had that too? Not as much. Can I show you the sing-song level that literally gets all the enemies? You hit the Wonder and you just run to the right. There's some levels that are so blazingly non-level. Not saying it's a bad game, I'm just saying the first few levels are like so casual friendly. To the point, they're not even casual, they're not even fun to. Hi, please. Fair enough. Are you looking through nostalgia still glasses? I'm not. If I were, then I'd be like, oh, remember that level in Super Mario World where everything was singing at you and held right? Mario World isn't that hard, except for the cave levels and stuff. Some of the water stages. I think it's actually more challenging in general than good few Mario games, though. I can skip levels. Sure, fish. Alright, let's go beat Mario World again. Have fun. When you die more than 10 times, up the one. Yeah, if you fucking know how to get to the Star Worlds. Every Mario game is a skip to get to the end. But if we're counting that, every Mario game is blazingly broken. Are we gonna count that? The Wii era mostly? I don't know if I agree with you, Lord, so... I'm gonna point to modern Pokemon for this one. I hate what they've become. Help me now. Finding more examples off the top of my head would be more difficult because I tend to avoid games that are too blatantly free. We'll point to Dark Souls, yes. Oh, what am I doing going over this way? This is where, like, I get extra checks on Rando. Rando Brian kicking in again. You think I'm making blanket statements to like devalue my argument that games have gotten easier and more handholdy? Like, why are you doing that? Just because I said Wonder has easy stages at the start? It has side missions, as I just stated, that are harder than the regular stages in the game. I just don't think it's that exciting, some of the main stages in general as well. It gets better later in the game, but I don't know if I want to play the first part of the game that much. Like, I personally think it's like not as hard as old Mario games from what I've seen, but I need to play it. But I know the side missions can be tough, so I'd look forward to those, but to be real. Oh man, I'd probably check out if... Like, I want to jump into a game and from the get-go feel a bit excited about playing it. If it drags too much, I start to quit. That's happened with a few modern Pokemon games. But I think I'd stick to Mario Wonder until it gets more exciting. But it's not the best example because it does get more exciting. We bashing Pokemon now? I bash modern Pokemon with a hammer. One game series? Okay. Let's point to countless Android games. Or I'm talking about AAA studios making, like, let's say the modern Spider-Man. That's not even really a fun spectacle of a game. But I'm not saying that they're like brain dead easy. I'm just saying they're just... Games have gotten way more casual friendly. Some to the point that it's less satisfying than ever to beat them. But if you still enjoy that kind of casual experience, go for it. There's probably enough going on in some of those games to still be fun. They're not all brain dead. That's not what I'm trying to say. But a lot of them have got there. There's a lot of brain dead games out there being, you know, games have gotten more so. Doesn't mean they all are. And I kind of miss when a game doesn't hold your hand as much. Yeah, Detroit is a good example. I think Mario Odyssey is a great game. Because there's enough going on outside of the difficulty not being that hard. But if you want to get your pitchfork at that statement, go for it. This is the point is that, like, there's a lot more hand-holding in games than there ever used to be, and I'd argue sometimes it's too much. And yes, some games have gotten quite brain dead, and I guess Pokemon series is an easy one to point to. But outside of that, yeah, sure. I'd have to check into it more, but I tend to avoid games that are not as satisfying. I disagree that that's not the argument I'm making. It's not as bad as it's ever been. What are you talking about? Literally, okay. Are you taking what I said? Okay, I'm trying to say my exact words is games have gotten more handholdy and brain dead as time has gone on. More so doesn't mean they all have been. I disagree that's not as bad as it's ever been. Where did that come into it? I'm trying to work out what you're trying to say. Or where that came into it, because I'm playing the game as well. My brain is just not computing. But that's not the argument I was making. I'm just saying they're more freaking assist and hand-holding than they used to be. What? Okay, forget it. You know what? Forget it. Not talking about... Yeah, if you wanted to say that, it's a different argument. Good lord. Yeah, games have gotten better. There was a lot of dog shit on the NES. But there was some real fucking memorable bangers too. And like, whatever era you want to point to. I don't give a crap. I'm just saying, there's more games trying to play it so safe that they become mid. And kind of too easy in some ways. I'm not saying that like everybody's doing it. I'm saying it's more so the mainstream studios tend to do it more often. A lot of fucking fantastic games out there, of course. But if we pointed to Android gaming, that'd be the most obvious example, but we don't even ever want to talk about Android gaming. Better as in hand-holding. Okay, then phrase it that way. Like, not as bad as it's ever been. Like, better as in hand-holding. You think it's better? Okay. Kind of. How dare you bring in your own argument? The topic gets switched if we're not focused on one thing. And we can diverge. That came out of left field. Like, I disagree. I agree, but I think they're getting better. I disagree that they're not as bad as they've ever been. Like, when it comes to the thing I was talking about, that confused the shit out of me. You want to diverge into saying something else and diverge into that before you make that statement. Because I didn't know what context you were coming in at all. I just got that message randomly. I'm like, you're saying it's not as bad as it's been? So you're saying games were more hand-holdy in the past? Like, that doesn't make any sense. What the heck does he mean? But that's literally what I said. I was like, well, how did I say anything close to this? We're in two different discussions. You see what I'm saying now? If you are not following me, then let's leave it there, as I said a second ago. They got a lot less hand-holdy in recent eras compared to the era before it. Alright. That is not something I could follow the context of without the context of. And yeah, perhaps they are getting better, dude. No, I think you genuinely didn't give the context. I said before that games not as hard as they were in the SNES era, just how the world's gotten nowadays, but the fact that games are brain dead in this era. Where did you bring the context about how they're gotten better before? Like, point to the message. Games back in the day has not been punishing, but I don't think games these days are now as easy as people say. Like, seriously, where's the context, dude? I'm just telling you the truth that I had no idea what context that was coming in at. Yo, thank you for the raid, Hellfire. Really appreciate it, man. Thank you. Hope you had a great stream. Shoutouts to Hellfire, Skyrim. It's not my inability to follow the conversation, it's the communication. There's a miscommunication here. I'm trying to point that out. I'm not trying to upset anybody pointing that out. I'm just saying that I have no idea where that came from. Until I understood it when you explained that you think it's getting better. Winning is a good question because I've technically died twice and loaded some save states because I'm just practicing. Ah, fuck it, you're right. Alright, I'll take the L. Maybe I did play the game too much. Yeah, I didn't get where you were coming from. Now I get it. Let me just read further ahead, because I disagree that's not as bad as it's ever been. With this in mind, but I was definitely talking about something else. But at the same point, I agree. That message clears it up. But I think that, yeah, I was definitely trying to talk about something else. So there's a bit of miscommunication still, but I definitely agree. Yeah, that you said that. When I read this, I was less casual. Astrobot are quite daring from what I played. Yeah, Astrobot's daring, I agree. We are casual friendly. Did I read this message in its entirety? I don't know. Yeah, I don't hold any bad blood, dude. I just say things how I'm thinking about them. So if I'm genuinely confused, I'll let you know I'm genuinely confused. No, I hate you? Cool. Damn it. But we were definitely trying to discuss on two different topics because I was not focused on that argument. Alright. So what you're saying, I can agree. I do think some game studios haven't gotten that message yet, though. Or like some game designers. And yes, I could point to Android gaming, but we don't talk about that. That has become so brainless. It's such an easy argument to make that it's kind of pointless to insert. What I would like to see going forward is personally, like, the idea that you don't need to make a game as easy as possible for it to appeal to gamers that are new gamers or young gamers, that kind of thing. I definitely remember reading about like Pokemon Sword and Shield and how people were playing that, and like, yeah, I know they're trying to make it more casual friendly, but literally like somebody said, my younger brother dropped the game because they were bored of all the dialogue and bored of all like the hand holding. Like, yeah, that sounds a bit much. Yeah, I'm gonna grab that. There will always exist a indie sphere, and there will always exist people trying to break out of that mold. That's true. What am I worried about fish? Tend to like you? Good. least I know. You know, same here, bro. Yo, let's go. Isn't that what all content creators do? Kappa. I think it's funny that, like, he's played Castlevania, Metroidvanias, and he's like, I don't like Metroidvanias, but I played all of these Metroidvanias. I mean, it's his taste. He doesn't like anything that's not that. I totally understand. I think I'm a bit unique as well, so my perspective comes in from no, I'm not totally like Foddy, but I'm a bit like him in some ways that way. Like, if you told me to play Stardew Valley or any farming game like that, I'd get bored real fast. I just can't do it. I need some goals to work towards. I need something going on. If I'm playing a good part of a portion of a game and I'm not excited to play it, I'll put it down. Like, I may not have done that as much in the past, but I'm definitely gotten that way now. It's like, well, it's hard for me to, oh, just keep going. Game gets better. The late game gets better. Like, if I can't get invested, I'm starting to feel more likely to drop something. So I heard the late game of, like, Sun and Moon was good, but couldn't commit. Body is fine as long as he gets over. Burn the guy. The child. I'm gonna burn him in future runs. That's gonna be funny. Supposed to save him, but burning him seems more fun. The first encounter of this boss is hit based. I mean, how'd you hit the boss? This one actually has health. We can nuke it. I'm gonna get eaten. No? Okay. Goodbye, slimes. Yo, they're staying around this time? Don't they disappear? You're telling me the slimes froze the game? Yeah, that's new. Okay. That's fucking hilarious. We'll just load a save state, I guess. That must be like something happened on the same frame to glitch them because they're supposed to explode. Wonder what it was, but I don't know. Clip it for later and figure it out, but yeah, GG. We won. I guess. Damn it, PlayStation. 10 different resolutions per game. I think this argument can be still debated on, honestly. I'm not... How do I put it? When it comes to games being easier and stuff, there's like plenty of new things that are not as much. I obviously can point the fronts off, but they're always going to be like, we're the tough guys. I think fucking Team Cherry are crazier, if I'm being honest. Like with Dark Souls, you can find some spicy cheese and level up and go crazy that way. And Team Cherry is just like going crazy with Silk Song and stuff. Although if you upgrade your nail a lot, you could probably do much easier gameplay. Yeah, there's probably some stuff like that, but not as much, it feels like. Dude, I have double save states for some of these. Alright, pick a dungeon, guys. Any dungeon. I have to say a dungeon. I got this one. Let's do this. How about that? And I will probably sign off after this. Got one nail upgrade the entire game. Yeesh. I think I started to do the DLC with without the final nail upgrade, Lorenzo. Do you think I... Yeah, I did a lot of bosses without full nail upgrade. To be real, like, getting all the ore is kind of tricky. So, yeah. For anybody that's out there that, like, says, I beat Dark Souls, that's a casual gamer, I'm gonna say this. When I was trying to find where the doll was in Dark Souls 3, for example, I did look at the video. There's videos with millions of views that are like how to beat the game step-by-step tutorials. Is it an achievement as much if you watch the video telling you how to like break the game and cheese it and like win? Okay. Play games because I think they're fun. I don't need a ridiculous challenge, but sometimes relish in it. I do not like a great story, but I need the game that I do not like or need. Like a great story. I don't need to speedrun to have a good time. I want to have fun on my own terms. I think many games can do that in different ways. Yeah, exactly. We come from our own biases and taste. Like, I'm not saying my opinion is precisely right on everything. But you know what I'm trying to say? I wouldn't say I'm right on everything just because that's such an arrogant thing. Such an egotistical thing. That's why I think it's worth, like, even debating. Always. But, yeah. I think indie games is where it's at, guys. I'm just saying. That's... I don't know. There's some good mainstream games, but yeah. Stream? Yeah. I thought about getting a wheel. I do like interactive games. Like EDR and stuff as well. I used to like playing like Guitar Hero and stuff. There's a game I play called Rocksmith, which you play with a real guitar. Perform songs through it. If I ever did a stream of that though, I would need to like... Kind of awkward, the sound drivers. Cannot get the audio to go into OBS without like a certain setup. Awkward that way. But I'd need to kill the VOD afterwards. Like, yeah, it's a game where you actually play with an extra instrument. That's the fun part. I recently set it up again because I'm starting to play guitar again. More. We'll see. Total surprise. Got him, Kappa. That is the thing. Enjoy games on your own terms. I got a friend turned around to me. It's like, after I work, I just want to play a game that I turn off my mind to. Like, they genuinely said, like, I don't really want to play hard games because it's the way I want to play games. And I'm like, okay, I get it. I can respect that. I think I did this wrong already, so... The double right away? Yeah. That seems wrong, yeah. Those sims are different from arcade racers. Yeah, I guess so. But who's making this argument? Oops. It's a teleporter. Ah, whatever. I think you could use it for both. It just depends on if you like it. Right? I mean, arcades have wheels as well. People who play fighting games often play on arcade sticks, and I'm like, I'm sorry, but that's never really my thing. I thought it would make me a better fighting game player if I played on them, but then I tried it out and like, hey, freaking fondling this inaccurate stick. Why would I want to play on this? Arcade sticks for Tekken is very common. Yeah, you know, like, network likes bundling sticks, so paid for him. God dang it, network. But yeah, it's... It's just very common for fighting games to go arcade stick because it's how the arcade did it. But I would argue fighting games being played with arcade stick is actually like a pain in the ass. And a learned experience. Like, I wouldn't consider it the optimal controller, and I wouldn't consider it the easiest skill floor controller either. I would consider it just a product that people like to play arcade games on. Yo, Slade, welcome. Yo, why am I hearing double? I think I had your stream on lurk. Oh, let's go. Let's freaking go, dude. I'm not really doing a proper run today. I'm just practicing stuff. But how's it going? My name is Sky Pilot's fucked. Yeah, that is my name, and I'm playing Alundra. Practice some speedrun stuff because it's been a while. Can we get a shout out for our good friends Beef Slade? There was like a weird leg spike there. Love it. BizHawk, calm the fuck down, dude. Okay, now I'm screwing up. Okay, I was trying to read that. The hell, monkey? I will nuke you if I have to. Just knock it off. That doesn't hit the guy down there at all. Crazy mercs. They're all trying to escape. The used randos can't strat anymore. Question mark? So used to randos can't casual strat anymore. Kinda. Well. I'd say it's more so that, like... Rusted gears or something? Have to, like, make sure they still work. And then when they're functional, we'll be good. I don't know what a good analogy would be. Did not use my spell. How did that one hit? Hit it. Gonna be a while then. They're just sticking together for some reason. Imagine if that did double damage. Anyway. I think the awkward part is full mind skip, the bomb jumps, and playing certain parts a bit too recklessly. When it comes to memory of things, like, I think once is enough, like the switch puzzle and stuff. Put that back. Fine for games that circle motions, technically players as personal preference. There is one argument to be made for a... I can see what you're saying, Alfredo. Like, if you're playing a freaking grappler character in one of those games, I would argue that, like, yeah, circle motions, go for it. And you know what? Water circles and stuff, not bad either. It's not bad that way. I just know that you can get sloppy inputs with an arcade stick, and it takes a lot of skill to make sure that you're precise with it. Sometimes it's not an easy controller to learn to play fighting games with, but it became this like standard because of the arcades. There's something you can do in Tekken called a Korean backdash. You can kind of like do a grab motion on the control stick, or a push motion, but like you can do it like quick hand movement. And on an arcade stick, you could argue those are easier. You're just flicking your hand back and forth. But that just sounds like carpal tunnel. Nah. Like, that's fair. But I can do that on the D-pad with my thumb. Just like slide my thumb back and forward. I think the lowest skill entry point controller is actually a hitbox. Once you get the hang of... Okay. It shouldn't be the lowest skill entry. It's actually awkward to start with. I didn't say that. But once you get the hang of it, the efficiency level that you're at compared to other people in, like, let's say a fighting game or something else, like every button you press is a single button. There's no inaccuracies. There's no workarounds you have to worry about. And you can do like button combos that are not limited by like where they are on a D-pad or what angle they are on a stick. You can combine like up with down and left with right, and come up with all kinds of shenanigans, make things easier to input. And I would say that genuinely, once you get the hang of it, is probably the most efficiency controller off the bat without having to work hard for it. Once you just get a bit used to it. Like if you look into SODC cancels and all kinds of like fighting game stuff, where you cancel an input with another input, like up cancels down, left cancels right, you can use that to like kind of instant cancel down or up into something else. And I guess what ends up happening is, in some cases, it like cheeses a fireball motion to just like 2 button presses while holding one. It's really funky. So you can kind of like come up with some crazy cheesy button inputs that get yourself even faster. Okay. Anyway, I am goofing about right now because I froze the game earlier. I just decided to do twin stream. But I think that's a wrap for now, guys. Thanks for tuning in. To everybody I argue with today, I hate you. You should never come back. God, that would be... I'm such a nice person. Yeah. That's how I honestly feel all the time. Happen. No, but it's always good to have a discussion. And you know what? I can agree that Lozo makes great points. Wasn't planning on it. Yeah. Now I am leaving this world after this. What am I saying? Should we go raid somebody? I don't know. Wait, the refresh rate in live split is 40 FPS. Huh, that's its default setting? Just do a random race, post the seed and say, this week's random race is... and then there you go. I need to set up my hotkeys again. Yeah, why is it not ending? Oh, my reset. Yeah, it's just not... Okay, now it works. I had to set it again. Alright. And yeah, I'll let me... Wait, is it Wednesday, Fish, we're doing the thing? Yeah, we're doing the thing on Wednesday. Yeah, I have an appointment tomorrow for something. Wednesday, I'll be doing a race Kingdom Hearts randomizer with Fish during the early hours of the morning. If you guys want a breakfast stream, that's probably what I'm on next. I could be on tomorrow.